Imagine Christmas 1918. The Great War had just ended, and a weary world longed for peace and celebration. But instead of joyful carols and festive lights, a suffocating silence fell across the globe. A different kind of war was raging. One fought not in the trenches, but in homes, hospitals, and quiet city streets. This was the year of the Spanish flu. It was about to create the most silent Christmas in modern history. The year 1918 was supposed to be one of relief. The armistice was signed in November, marking the end of 4 brutal years of conflict. Soldiers were coming home, and families dreamed of reuniting for the holidays. But a deadly, invisible enemy had already begun its march across continents. Hitching rides with troop movements and on global trade routes, it started in the spring. But by autumn, the second wave hit with a terrifying ferocity, claiming millions of lives with breathtaking speed. It was a pandemic on a scale the world had never seen. As Christmas approached, the flu's shadow loomed large over every aspect of life. Cities that should have been bustling with holiday shoppers were eerily quiet. Public health officials, desperate to curb the contagion, issued strict orders. Theaters, dance halls, schools, and even many churches were closed. Public gatherings were banned. In San Francisco, it was illegal to be in public without a gauze mask. The masked slackers facing fines or even jail time. Christmas pageants, parades, and parties were canceled one by one. The festive cheer that normally filled the air was replaced by a pervasive sense of fear and anxiety. Newspaper headlines that should have been about holiday sales were instead filled with casualty counts and public health warnings for countless families. The holiday season was a time of profound grief. The flu was indiscriminately cruel. It struck the young and healthy with particular viciousness, leaving empty chairs at dinner tables across the world. Imagine a mother who had just received word her son survived the war, only to lose him to the flu just weeks before Christmas, or a child waking up on Christmas morning to find their parents had been taken by the illness overnight. The scale of the loss was staggering and the emotional toll was immense. Diaries and letters from the time paint a heartbreaking picture. One person wrote, "There will be no Christmas for us. The house is in mourning." Another noted the strange quiet, the absence of ringing church bells, and the general feeling of gloom that had settled over their town. Yet, even in the midst of this overwhelming darkness, the human spirit refused to be completely extinguished. People found new, quieter ways to mark the season. Christmas wasn't canceled. It was transformed, with public celebrations forbidden. The holiday became a much more intimate, home-based affair. Families who were spared the worst of the illness gathered quietly. They decorated what they could, perhaps with a small, modest tree or handmade ornaments. The focus shifted from grand public spectacle to the simple, profound act of being together and appreciating the loved ones who were still there. Across the country and indeed the world, stories of incredible courage and compassion emerged from the gloom. Doctors and nurses worked tirelessly, often to the point of collapse, fighting a desperate battle with limited resources and no effective cure. Volunteers, many of them women from organizations like the Red Cross, stepped up to care for the sick, deliver food to quarantined families, and look after the countless children who were suddenly orphaned. In many communities, people left baskets of food on their neighbors' doorsteps, a small gesture of solidarity in a time of forced isolation. These acts of kindness, these small flickers of light in the darkness, were the true Christmas miracles of 1918. Newspapers tried to bolster public morale. They encouraged people to shop by phone, to support local businesses without risking exposure. They published articles on how to have a quarantine Christmas, suggesting games and activities that families could do at home. They reminded everyone that while traditions might have to be suspended, the spirit of Christmas love, hope, and compassion could not be locked down. A poster from the time simply read, "Do your Christmas shopping early and mail your Christmas packages early, but do not spit." It's a strange juxtaposition, but it perfectly captures the reality of that holiday season. The silent Christmas of 1918 offers us a powerful lesson in resilience. It teaches us that even when faced with unimaginable hardship and loss, humanity finds a way to endure. It reminds us that the core of the holiday season isn't about the parties, the presents, or the public displays. It's about connection, empathy, and holding on to hope even when it feels like all is lost. The people of 1918 learned to find joy not in grand celebrations, But in the quiet moments of shared humanity, a shared meal, a kind word to a neighbor, a prayer for the sick, they showed that community and compassion can thrive even in the face of fear and isolation. As we look back over a century later, having navigated our own global pandemic, the story of 1918 feels more relevant than ever. It's a poignant reminder of our shared vulnerability, but also our shared strength. It shows us that through patience, compassion, and unwavering solidarity, we can overcome any crisis. The world was forever changed by the Spanish flu, but the enduring light of the human spirit, so evident during that dark and silent Christmas, proved that hope can never be truly quarantined. No matter the hardship, no matter the challenges we face, we will always find a way to keep that spirit alive. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as moving as I did, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more journeys into the past. Stay curious, and we'll see you next time.